Welcome to the Axiom. New file detected. Launching file.
Hello world, my name is Leo and today we are continuing the Blueprints file. Where we last left off, we had... What all did we do? We saw quite a few new rooms. We saw the wine cellar and the terrace, and we also read about the history of Orindia and how Horus divided the land among 3 of his heirs, how the middle nation eventually became the nation of Fen, and how Prince Learson led a civil war against his own people and eventually won even though he died, and burned the legacy of Horus down, essentially. And the normal colors used to be black. We also learned that we got the drafting room, we got the solarium, we found the conservatory among the white trees. And we learned that each of the colors have a different political connotation, or at least they used to be associated with different political connotations. And the color black was actually replaced with the color blue, specifically because blue has no political affiliation. And so yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and continue. We still have to do the lab, pump room, all that good stuff. Still got to make it to room 46. Someone said, I'm going to check something really quick. I had assumed after I did that failed run where I almost got to room 26, day 21, there's a sale in the commissary today. I had assumed that the basement door would be relocked, but apparently it isn't. My allowance is not 19 right now. That feels kind of insane. So I want to check a couple things. The first thing I want to check is this actually open? I wasn't expecting it to be open. I thought everything would have reset, including these doors being shut. Oh. It is, in fact, open. Okay. Good to know. Oh, this counts as a separate area? I didn't realize. Do I have any reason to go down there? Especially from that side. Not really. Because I need the other side. I need the basement side. And then, let me... Really quick. So... The whole thing about the gate being unlatched that I did not unlatch, and like the person who's following me around, I have a funny feeling. So I was able to see that vision again while I was editing, and the in the vision that Alzara gave, where he described someone else being in the house, all the stuff in the entrance hall is like knocked over. So something tells me that like the person breaking into the house, I don't think that's actually happened yet. But yeah, it's something I'll have to keep an eye out for. But let me see really quick what outer room we get. So we have trading post, tool shed, or root cellar. Let's go for the tool shed. I would love some special items. A shovel for digging, and... oh, and the sledgehammer. Okay. Very useful default tools. I was hoping for... so, like, the Lost and Found is supposed to bring all new items to the estate. So I'm very much hoping that that is going to be a thing. But okay. we want to what is our goals? I do want to try to get the conservatory. We need to get levers because like I can get to the basement, so I need to get to the foundation. I also do have the blessing of the tinkerer, so I also need to get the lab so I can set off an experiment so I can take advantage of that and hopefully reset various experiments. Also, let me really quick just I think maybe after I'm done recording, I will read the directory for these rooms just to see if there's any hints regarding stuff in either of the in anything in the room directory. So let's see if we can dead end the east wing. Sure, 10 extra steps. We'll go with that. Grab ourselves a key. Because I want to focus on the west wing. Number one, because of the wings, and number two, because of the foundation. I want to dead end this as well, kind of. Let's do the parlor. Let's see if we can set up some, set ourselves up for some early, like, good collection. All right, let's see. The gems are in a box with a statement. Okay, that's true. Oh, that one's blank. The white box does not have a statement. So the white box does not have a statement is true, which means this one has to be false. The gems are in a box with a statement, which means it's in this one. Okay, cool. All right. I could dump the bedroom here. I'm not sure I want to. Let's just dump the chapel here. That way I don't have to like come I wouldn't have any reason to come back to it. Okay. Nothing that I can see. Still don't know what to do with the chess pieces. I've really been thinking about like how the chess pieces work, and I can't help but wonder if it's like the number of them. Because like in my book for all of the various things, so I've found like 2 rooks. I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pawns of various colors. Maybe it's the black ones that matter, because the ones in the I don't know. I don't remember which room that is. I don't remember if that room has a name, but those in the precipice. Those pieces are blue. But black was the original color, so maybe it's only the black pieces that matter, and I need to figure out specifically how many black pieces of each piece there are, and then that might correspond to the rank that I need to put them in the precipice, but that doesn't tell me what space within each rank I need to put them in, so I don't know. Let's just do the storeroom. Let's just fully dead end this area. Grab all the materials we can. Anything else in here does not look like it. And so, yes. Maybe I have made a mistake completely relying on just the west wing, but it is something that, like, I want to at the very least prioritize it. So let's see what we can do. Hallway, so that we can have as many things as possible. Should have a key, and indeed we do. Okay, I do want a room that curves to the left, or the right. Ooh. Let's do the bedroom. And then let's draft something here. Maybe the breaker box, if we can. Let's go for the den here, I think. Any items in here? Oh, sweet. We have an ivory die. We'll definitely be keeping that. And then no matter what, we still have a way to like circle around if we want, if we only get a room that curves off to the right. Let's see what we got. Nursery, West Wing Hall, or Nook. Nook wouldn't be good because I want to do the Nook when I can actually draft the library. So let's go with the West Wing Hall. Okay, so we still have some options that we are working with. So let's go in here. Let's grab this gem. Nothing else that I can see. Let's draft this room. Do I want to draft the passageway this early? Sure. I wouldn't mind doing that. Alright, and then let's go in here. Ooh. Let's go for the hallway closet, I think. Ooh, we get extra items. Okay. Greater chance of finding keys and coins. Rabbit's foot. Greater chance of finding items. I think I've gotten that before. And another ivory die. Perfect. Okay. I'd say that was pretty worth it. Alright. So now we have... This way should be a dead end. Yeah. So let's draft this way first. Ooh. Ooh. Do I want to risk that? Yes, I think I do. Because this... Oh, okay. Never mind. It's open. This will give me the opportunity to see if I can draft the lab. And then power it. So... Redraw. I want the lab. As much as I would like security... Let me redraw again. I want the lab. Gosh, they are so determined to not give me the lab. Alright, whatever. Let's do security. Because I think security might still have vents that I could use. Okay, it does. Ah, coin over there. So I can still draft... Okay, let's see. I can still draft the lab branching off of security. Okay, I'm not missing any items. Keycard system. Let's set it to high. I'm gonna bank on being able to find the box. Unlocked. Or the keycard. Hopefully the rabbit's foot will help me in that regard. Ooh, let's also... Let's go ahead and place a special order while we're at a terminal. Staff services, special orders. Let's just order a metal detector again. Perfect. All right. So I want to see if we can draft the lab in this direction. Now the question is, do any of these rooms have vents? Let's just do the archives, because the archives has the best chance of getting us a lab. Okay, it does. It does. So I want to draft the lab in that direction, it seems like. Alright, let me make sure of any like items that may or may not be here. Does not look like it. Okay, so with any luck, because I don't think, I mean, that does branch. Now the question is, does it cross over? Like, would I be able to, like, at this point, is that a complete intersection where I can draft it off of any of these doors and it would work? I don't know. But I guess let's find out. Huh. Let's do the nook to the library to something else. And we have a magnifying glass. That's pretty cool. Nothing else here as far as I can tell. That's what I was hoping for, the library. And I did order a book, A Sightseer's Guide to Reddington. Anne Babbage. Lord Evanson. M. Lowry. And then Simon P. Jones. A Modest Account of Our Town by Sir Andrew Darrell. So this is the picture that's on that postcard. I don't see anything particularly notable about it. The third largest city in Fen Aries and site of its former capital, Reddington is synonymous with mountains, mystery, and magic. Most tourists head straight for the boardwalk and don't get much further than the botanical gardens. However, Reddington has much more to offer. Spectacular scenery, a historic castle, and a charming underground bazaar will reward visitors who wish to explore further. Reddington is that type of unique. Oh, Reddington is that type of unique, enchanting place that lingers in your mind and memories long after you leave her. Leave her. Ran out of breath after her. The Botanical Gardens. Reddington's most popular attraction and a guaranteed crowd pleaser, the Botanical Gardens is loved by both locals and visitors for its Ageran canopy house and mausoleum, its petal-covered trails, and a mind-boggling variety of flowers. This is the reason springtime is Reddington's busy season. Situated just east of town, the Botanical Gardens offer a scenic and captivating tableau of the natural countryside. A cobblestone trail meanders past over 1,000 species of tropical plants, each remarkable in its own right, yet even more stunning set against the spectacular backdrop of the Reddington Mountains. Allow yourself at least an hour to indulge in this picturesque walk, which concludes at Mainway Station. Helix X Meserve, a specimen of holly unique to Reddington's mountains. So this is a picture, it's like upstairs in the library. Featherfall Keep. You will find sitting at the base of Mount Perma, Reddington's second highest summit, a historic site described by scholars as significantly important to the realm's past. Featherfall Keep, the former home of Lord William Epson, has until recently always been a private residence, serving as a family home to the Espins since before the Third Era. After the death of Lord Espin, his oldest son, I don't know what's going on with me when it comes to reading, but apparently I'm getting bad at it now. After the death of Lord Epson, his oldest son Lionel Espin left the estate never to return. However, the daughter stayed, maintaining the residence and its staff until her marriage in 1951. So, I remember seeing Lionel Epson in the family tree. Let me pull up that photo really quick. So the lord they're talking about is Lord William Epson. The son and daughter, so Lionel Espin, the daughter is Clara Espin, my grandmother. So that's who we're talking about right now. However, the daughter stayed, maintaining the residence and its staff until her marriage in 1951 to my grandfather, Simon Sinclair. At that point, Featherfall Keep ceased to be a family residence. It began operating as a historic house museum and tourist attraction, and the estate was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1972. It is still believed by many that Featherfall was built by the first king of Orinda, Ares, when Reddington was still the capital. However, surface documents contain conflicting dates. However, surfaced documents containing conflicting dates have recently cast some doubt on the long-standing myth. I mean, that is presumably true. Like, we know our history. We're learning about our history right now. Trinsdale Lake. Close your eyes and imagine tranquil, serene stillness, rolling fogs, clear water, and gliding swans. In the midst of all that beauty sits Trinsdale Lake, one of Fen Aries' premier vacation destinations, exclusive for its more privileged citizens. The lakeside resort and cabins have been frequented by royalty and the realm's gentry for generations. However, on the southern shore of the lake, tourists are free to enjoy the views and rub elbows with the rich and famous in the Hundred Bells Tea Room, which is open to the general public for lunch on Mondays and Fridays. So that is where I believe at least one, maybe two of the employees were meeting up with someone. Mount Holly. At an elevation of 11,220 feet, Mount Holly is the tallest mountain in the Reddington Range and the highest peak in the entire realm. Beyond the physical challenge itself, climbing Mount Holly Trail is a beautiful experience, and one that many hikers and explorers will want to do at least once. It's only a few hours from Reddington to get to the trailhead, and you won't need any local guides or special gear if you tackle the trail during the summer season. However, those willing to give this mountain a significant amount of planning and research will be greatly rewarded, whether or not they actually summit. On the opposite side of the peak, far from the trail, rests the estate of Mount Holly, nestled between the summit's northern slope and saddle. This 80-acre mountain residence is almost as old as Riddington itself. However, unlike Featherfall Keep, the property has been completely private since the closing of the Mount Holly Schoolhouse in '66. Okay. So, in that case, that document I found regarding like Mrs. Peterson in the schoolhouse, that must be really old. Like much older than I thought it was. Did I take a picture of that? I didn't, but yeah, I guess what was it, like 38 years of the school? That, yeah, that must be really old. Still, hikers will be able to appreciate the house's unique architecture at a distance from one of the trail's many north-facing overlooks. Mainway Station Bazaar. For the sentimental tourists wishing to pick up a souvenir to remember their stay, one might try braving the Mainway Station Bazaar. But don't be too hasty. Without proper guidance, the Mainway Station can be a dangerous place. Located underground, this unique marketplace was once Reddington's central railway station in a time when the realm's trains were still in service. Huh. Now the turnstiles, footbridge, and platform have been appropriated and turned into a cavern of tents and torches. Whether you are bargain hunting, looking for adventure, or finding a memento to commemorate your visit, the Mainway Station Bazaar will be a worthy conclusion to your sightseeing adventure in Reddington. Then we have a map. We have 100 Bells, Reddington. We have Mount Holly, Angel Tower, Arias or Ares River. We have 100 Bells, the Bazaar, Tanner Fork. Huh. I feel like I didn't get a whole lot there. I'll write down that Mount Holly School closed in 66. It's 80 acres. Mount Holly's elevation is 11,220 feet. I don't know if any of these numbers will mean anything. Clara Espen got married in 51. Mount Perma was her original home in Featherfall Keep. So yeah, not a whole lot there in terms of secrets. Just more like, yeah, very informational. It does look like Mount Holly is situated the most south out of everything, which could be important for like the fact that our mom was supposedly smuggled south. And I'll write down the Holly is Elix X Meserve. So that is the type of holly that we have up here in the mountains. So that, I don't know if any of that will be useful to me, but still could be nice. Okay, so the scrapbook, I don't know if that card will actually show anything. Yeah, that makes sense. I made the pick sound amplifier. Still don't know what this is. All right. I guess let's see if we can... What do you got for us? I mean, foyer would be nice. But I do wonder what the archived floor plan is. How many hallways do I have left? I don't know. Let's do the archived floor plan. I'm sorry, what? Bookshop. Books for sale. I have never been in here before. Okay, thank goodness I did that. Okay. Bookshop has Black Bishop. Okay. Reddington Herald. A new clue sold out in hours. It should come as no surprise that the latest book from local author Marion Marigold is breaking literary records and making headlines even in absentia? Is it absentia or is it absentia like dementia? I don't know. The release of her new book, A New Clue, comes only 14 months after the distressful report of the author's mysterious and unexplained disappearance. So A New Clue was written after she disappeared? Her current publisher has issued a statement debunking the conspiracy theories surrounding the book's recent announcement, stating, "The writing of the book was completed and well into the editing stages many months before the disappearance." In addition, the publisher has revealed that all of the proceeds from first edition sales of A New Clue will be going to Lasting Hope, a non-profit organization that aims to provide resources and intel in the investigations of missing persons. Still, the timing and conveniently mysterious title of Marigold's third book has left many cynics denouncing the book and her disappearance as a cheap publicity stunt. Detective Bon Margol, who many theorize may have been the inspiration for A New Clue, interesting, was quoted only saying that the book was unintentionally accurate. Regardless of their opinions, fans, pundits, and cynics alike were standing together elbow to elbow in bookshop queues this morning, eager to get their hands on what may very likely be the last words ever published by the missing author. Thank goodness I got this magnifying glass. Okay. Let me read. This cozy little bookstore is often tucked away in the more secluded corners of the estate, giving guests little opportunity to appreciate the curated selection of equally rare books it offers. Titles purchased in the bookshop will be automatically added to the library's book request form, which, fittingly, is the only room in which this rare floor plan can be drawn. Wow. Then I got really lucky. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Purchased books will be permanently in the bookshop will be permanently added to the library and available to check out on your next visit. Okay. Should I come back with more money? I need money. How do I get money? I mean, I can see about drawing the vault. I mean, I don't want to get these cheap books. I want to, like, I'm gonna have to save up in a big way. Okay. I'm gonna save up because I'm gonna save up as much as I can. And I'm gonna have to make sure to come back here before I run out of steps. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can draft the lab here. Shoot. That's not the lab. I don't suppose the drawing room has any vents? Nope. It's not necessarily my last hope. But, you know, it's not looking good, per se. Okay, let's go... Well, first off... Ugh. Continuously haunts me. Seated in this same chair. I still don't know what this could be. I still have no clue. So let's just draft this room. Oh, well, thanks for letting me know what that is. Oh, I don't have gems. I can't draft that. Let's redraw. Let's just do the archive floor plan. The boudoir. Okay. More money. And a gem. Can't do that. Okay. Let's just see if we can... See what we can get here. Let's go ahead and do the breaker box just so we can get that done and over with. Someone said that turning off the gymnasium it actually does do something. I'm not sure what it does, but I'll have to double check whether or not it actually gets rid of the step penalty for the gymnasium. Okay. I have one more chance to try to get the lab, and it's here. Cool. That's lovely. Alright, the pantry, which does not have any labs, or which does not have any vents, so I think that's it for my hope of trying to get the... Okay. From now on, it's all about trying to do money. Alright, I need a room to go straight. Let's do the commissary. Oh? Oh, it's half off right now. So I should actually take advantage of that. And of that. Okay. Let's use a key. Shoot. Actually, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. That's fine. Because I can go back. And it'll all be good. I just need to make sure I have enough steps to get back to the thing. And while I'm here, I can do this. Enter. The nursery. Okay. Let's see. Whenever you draft a bedroom, gain 8 steps. Oh, it changes to a nurse's station. If you have less than 10 steps when you enter this room, set your steps to 20. Indoor nursery. Whenever you draft another green room, 2 gems will sprout in this room. So I can change it to a green room? This might actually be very interesting. Because, so, what this is saying, presumably, it says whenever you enter the room. So, like, presumably, I could get, like, infinite steps if I drafted it in the correct spot. Like, I could get so many steps if, like, every time I, like, am close to running out of steps, I can just step in this room and have it reset back to 20. But then again, I do like how it has been so far. And maybe I would just want a more powerful version of that. Because I do like how it's been. Like, I do like gaining the steps from drafting bedrooms. But maybe the nurse's station would be more reliable. Because, like, I haven't gotten the nursery almost all thing, but I've gotten a bunch of bedrooms that I won't be able to take advantage of. So maybe I should do the nurse's station. But this essentially flips it on its head, because if you draft the nursery early, this is really good. If you draft it late, it can be useless depending on how many ones you've drafted before. This one, if you draft it early, it's basically useless. And you wouldn't be able to really take advantage of it because it would require a bunch of backtracking that wouldn't necessarily be conducive depending on where you draft it. But if you draft it late, it could be good. The indoor nursery is interesting. I wouldn't necessarily mind using it as a way to get more gems, but, like, again, I would need to backtrack for that. Plus, so the bunk room counts as 2 bedrooms, which can set off multiple things, but the best combo it has is with the nursery. So if I were to not do the first option, it would also be nerfing the bunk room in a big way. So I think I'm going to go with the first option just because that combo is so good. Yeah, let's go with that, I think. I might regret that, but right now it's fine. Okay. So let's do this. Speaking of steps, I need them. Let's just do that. Okay. Yes, money, please. Let's draft this way first. Of course, it's the lab. Because I'm looking for money right now, office might be the best. Okay, also, regarding the safe, I have a thing, but we're gonna run payroll. Return to main. Spread gold in estate. Spread gold now. So, I was watching someone else's, like a few Let's Play videos of blueprints. Again, trying to avoid things I hadn't seen. And someone came up on this and said, like, because of the herrings of the Major, that everything, like, everything in red is supposed to be a red herring. And, like, I think that was a thought I had before, but I never. I think my brain got so focused on trying to figure out which statues were which that it never occurred to me that multiple of these wouldn't count. I was vastly overthinking it, so I think I just wanted to be honest. Like, I did see that, like, a different person clocked like these as not counting, and while I don't know if that's the correct solution or not, like, I did not watch them open the save, I still don't know what the combination is. So I don't know if that was actually a correct line of thinking, but it is not a line of thinking that I had, and I don't know if I would have gotten to it. So if these are all red herrings and the only one that counts is March of the Count, is it really just, could it be just March and then the number, counting the number of statues? Because if that is the case, I am like, I was vastly overthinking it in a big way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 statues, it looks like. 4 over here, 2 over here, 2 over there. That's 8. 1 back here is 9. Okay, no. March of the Count. Okay, so that's not it. Still operating under the red herring assumption, though. Okay, the Count is the guy with the pointed hair. So if I just do this guy, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 3, 0, 4. Maybe the big statues don't count. Oh my god. The big are you kidding me? The big statues don't count? Why? So how I got that was minus the big statue, there's 3. So this is 8. But yeah, that is, I guess that is fine. I'm just glad I finally got it, because yeah, the way I was thinking about it, the way I was going about it, I was overthinking it a lot. And I cannot but wonder if the drawing room, I'm also vastly overthinking it. But I have no idea. But let's see what this says. Dear Mr. Sinclair, this is March 3rd. Oh. The date that this letter was sent. Dear Mr. Sinclair, thank you for promptly answering all our demands, not involving the police, and allowing this unfortunate transaction to transpire as smoothly as one could hope. and while I'm guessing you had hoped to never hear from us again once we had given you back the envelopes, we felt that one final red letter of our own was merited given the circumstances. Hopefully, you will not be as careless with this missive as you were with the others. Correspondence this incriminating should be kept in safes, not desk drawers. Let's first put your apprehensions aside, and as I'm sure another red envelope is the last thing you expected to find on your desk this week. No, we are not making more demands, and no, we do not have copies of the other letters. Huh? What is the significance of the red letters? You were already more than generous and accommodating, and the least we can do is fulfill our end of the bargain. So why write to you at all? Why incriminate ourselves further if we already have what we want? In a word, principles. After reading your eloquent reply to our initial note, it became apparent to us that there have been a few misunderstandings. This letter is intended to clarify some of those points and hopefully will place our schemes in a softer light. First, we may have gotten too excited with the colorful language of blackmail, but our goal was never to terrorize. Despite what you may believe you interpreted as thinly veiled threats toward your young nephew, I personally assure you there was never any tangible danger. If we gave any impression we would hurt your youngster, it was meant only in the very vague sense of hurting his social prospects. And yes, while we admit that our word choice might be questionable, enough so that it would be reasonable to accuse us of being intentionally misleading, we hope you believe us when we tell you that this was not a calculated ploy to elicit payment. However, as payment has been received, there is nothing to be gained by scrutinizing the questionable ethics that were employed in our extortion of those funds. Little defense can be mustered on that score. Additionally, any judgmental tone you may have detected when we discussed the content of your stolen letters was entirely unintended. We want it on record that we do not consider ourselves superior to you and your family in any way, and are in fact entirely sympathetic to the underlying cause that the letters pertain to, and you thought this letter couldn't get more incriminating for us. Again, we feel guilty as sin, and only time will tell if the financial recompense will outweigh our culpability. Even though you will never hear from us again, we hope this parting letter will result in you thinking of us and our dealings, if not favorably, at least sympathetically. Sorry for the inconvenience. Forever Anonymous X. One final red letter. Is this the children of Blackwater? So, Sinclair was blackmailed into paying them because we were threatened. But at least one of the red letters was stolen. And it was stolen by someone who could have been incriminated with it. Or, like, someone who used it to incriminate someone else? Wait. Okay, I understand. Ravane. At least two of the employees, one of them being Ravane, the other one possibly being the driver, were stealing Mr. Baron Sinclair's mail. They got a hold of some of these red envelopes, the ones that incriminate him in being involved with the disappearance of my mother, of Simon's mom, and used them to blackmail Sinclair. They say that they didn't use blackmail, but they blackmailed him into giving him money, into giving them money. The fact they say that they are entirely sympathetic to the underlying cause that it pertains to, maybe the children of Blackwater weren't responsible. Maybe the children of Blackwater didn't help with Marion's disappearance. Maybe this is the children of Blackwater, because they don't want the police involved either. Maybe the children of Blackwater, maybe those two employees were working for the children of Blackwater, and then the children of Blackwater blackmailed Sinclair. Huh. That is fascinating. Okay. Either way, I have spread gold throughout the estate. Let's go here. I could guarantee myself a bedroom or something, but I would like something that curves into the foundation. Let's do this and hope it's not like... Okay. Not what I was hoping for, but it'll have to do, I guess. Okay. The dining room. It has to be done. Oh, is that a salt shaker? Heck yeah. Alright, we're in rank 7. Let's get ourselves to rank 8 and get our steps back. I think that's the vault. Yes. Okay. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Save 1 on each purchase. Yep, I'll take that. Oh, interesting. These are already opened. Which means I lost all that money permanently. Cool. Love that. Charbroiled Cajun spiced salmon, lemon butter sauce served over spinach leaf. I will have... Do I want to see if I can get the aquarium first? Sure. I would not mind doing that. Alright, this will actually be a good check. Do I lose steps? Oh, no, I don't. Okay, cool. So turning off the lights in the gymnasium does have a benefit. I don't want to dead end myself. Let's do this. Okay. Sure. I have 13 stars. Which... I don't know what those are. Okay. So I think that's 4 and 8. Or I think that's the Southern Cross and Clavis the key. Cool. Works for me. I don't have any gems though, so if I do get the aquarium, I can't draft it. Which sucks. The best I can do is unlock this. and hope that gives me something good. Not what I was hoping for. Okay. The metal detector can be combined with a lot of things. Detector shovel. What is burning glass? What is this? Let's just assemble it. Can light candles and ignite fuses. I mean, right away there's candles in the tomb. There's also the dynamite in the trading post. How much further do I want to go with this? Well, this is how much further I go, apparently. I've just hit a dead end. All right. But we're not done yet. Give me this meal. Have dinner. "35 steps. I don't technically have a metal detector anymore, so I'm going to have to search manually for these coins. But I don't regret doing what I did, because at least I know what the burning glass does and how important that could be. Okay, actually, hang on. How many coins am I looking at? I'm looking at 23 coins. And 3 gems? From where? Oh, probably the Great Hall. There's probably 3 gems locked behind one of those doors. So there's 23 coins. That'll put me at 87 if I were to find all of them. So I'd have to pick, which one do I want more? Do I want a new clue, or do I want an uncensored copy of the history of Orindia? Let's go this way a little bit first, because I can't afford to do that. There is also the possibility of like dig spots down here that might have coin. Found a rock. Who am I, Charlie Brown? Probably should have kept the metal detector, but like I said, knowing that the burning glass exists is extremely important. Okay, nowhere here. I really wish I had a coin purse right now, but it's okay. No coins that I can see in there. Coins here. I can't tell if there were any coins put in here. I don't know what the rules are for where coins can be. And I don't feel like crossing over into the thing. So let's just stick with this. So I already know the mystery of this is killing me. The history of Orindia. But I'm also like, what is a new clue? I'm going to get a new clue. Let's get Realm and Ruin as well. Okay. And we'll go with that. Exit. There's nothing more I can do here. This was insanely good, though. I feel like we got... Even if we didn't make it... even though we don't make it to the antechamber, like, the bookshop was such a huge find. A new clue. I'll need to try to get it again. Okay. Let's call it a day. stately manor. Items found 11. New rooms 1. The bookshop. Alright. Let's go ahead and exit, and let's save and continue. Because I want to keep going. This game's incredible. I don't want to go some more.
Upload successful. Click here to view previous files. Have a pleasant day.